Goldfinch Part 2.
Ooh, deuce. Right? Deuce, yeah.
Part 2.
Duh.
But is it?
You can say deuce also.
Sure. I'm Christine.
I'm Jamie.
And we're talking Goldfinch today. Again, we're breaking it down into 4 parts, and we're coming along. We are 50% done with Goldfinch.
So sad.
Yeah.
But it was a great few chapters.
It was. I'm liking it.
Yeah. I don't want to say learned a lot of things, but...
We'll talk about it. So we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to start doing the drink first, just so that we don't get any warm drinks here.
Mm-hmm.
So today, it is my turn, and I'm bringing you the Commander Ryatt.
Ooh.
Now, let's try it first, and then I'll tell you all about it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh, it's strong. I didn't think you'd like it. You know how I know?
I don't even know why I'm trying to pretend I can do it.
Because it's a Negroni.
Yeah, I know I don't like those.
You don't like Negronis. I knew you wouldn't.
Yeah.
I thought I would try. I thought I would make it a cranberry Negroni in the hopes that maybe you would like it a bit more, but it's still a Negroni.
Yeah, so it's whatever, what's the...
Campari. It's a bitter cocktail.
Yeah, it's like grapefruit. Like, it just has this taste for me where I'm like tasting gas or something.
It's like you're a bitter cocktail person or you're not.
Yeah.
Right? You're a cilantro person or you're not.
I also don't like cilantro, so.
I know. Well, you know what? Maybe next time we'll do an Aperol Spritz. That's like a light version of it. No, you don't like those either.
No, I think I like them a bit better, but...
Yeah, if you don't like an Aperol Spritz, you're definitely not going to like a Negroni.
No, you won't.
Yeah, the Negroni has a strong bitter taste. So that's what I made today. It's a cranberry Negroni, which is a classic cocktail.
Mm-hmm. It is a classic cocktail.
That I thought we had to do eventually. But my thought process was, Ryatt... I said Commander Ryatt, right?
Yep.
I was like, did I say Commander Rip instead? No. So Ryatt, I was thinking, you know what? He's been pretty bitter in, the other books, the earlier books.
Yep.
So we have a little bit of that in Ryatt. And then, he ended up being really sweet. So I was like, what's
good.
a bitter drink? And then with just a little bit of sweetness. And that's a Negroni, though the sweetness I know is not enough for you.
I did taste it in there, though.
Okay. So what it is Campari, like we said, and it's sweet vermouth, and it's gin. And then I put some cranberry juice in it to make it a cranberry Negroni. And that's what it is.
If you like it, I feel like you would really like it.
I know. I like it. I'm so sorry.
So we're not calling it 69.
No. So I was going to say there were a lot of options for cocktails for me in this.
Yeah, I feel like there was so many different routes you could take.
Obviously, I chose Commander Ryatt because we're almost done the series and I feel like he needs a drink.
Yeah.
But my other thoughts were, like, there was, like, the payer thing. But then I was like, well, I already did a gold rot drink, so then I didn't want to do,
It's nice, even, like, how I'd like to Yellow Bell, like, some of those characters are kind of getting, like, something different. Yeah. And I know, like, the second half of the book will probably go back to some sort of, like, Auren Slade type.
Yeah,
drinks.
So I didn't want to repeat too much.
Because I do have my bird glasses I still need to use.
You gotta use the bird glass, yeah.
Which I specifically bought.
And then the other option is, of course, the climactic, pun intended, sex scene where Slade repeatedly says pussy. Yeah. So I was like, maybe that'll be a drink. Oh. But then I'm like, I don't know if I want a drink that's called pussy.
It would have been hilarious.
I don't know what that would be.
Yeah, that's...
my other thought was, like, calling it 69.
I liked that.
You were excited for that.
Yeah.
But I don't know what that drink would entail either.
Like, you could just really pick anything and call it that.
And just call it that.
And it would have been great.
So those were my other options.
Sex swing, you could have called one.
Sex swing. Yeah. Yes. Well,
we'll get there. We're going to bring this up again anyways.
Yeah. So those were the other options, but Ryatt won out. Okay, so
he deserves it.
I'm scared, but what's your rating?
4.
Okay. Okay. For me, I think it's a 6.5. Oh, Carlos? Oh. Just walking around. I do like the bitter cocktails, but they're not my absolute favorite. So
Fair.
I'll enjoy it. But
I did like the cranberry aspect, though.
Me too.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll bump it up to 7.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's our drink. Let's move it along to what we're going to talk about. Books coming up that you are excited for.
I have this book, and I was so excited for it, which is the follow-up to not Blood and Ash, Flesh and Fire series.
Mm-hmm.
It's also Blood. I've been waiting so long for it, and it finally came out, and I have it.
Oh, okay.
And I just haven't been able to read it.
Right. I thought you were talking about the one that comes out in June.
But there is that one. I'm kind of more excited about that one, because that's the Blood and Ash next one.
That's the Blood and Ash one. So I will definitely read that one. I'm not probably going to read the one of the... Why don't we know the names of it? I can't remember. There's so many books in that series.
It's Board of Blood and Ash, the Flesh and Fire series.
Okay, so the Flesh and Fire series is kind of like the prequel to Blood and Ash.
Yeah.
So that one was the one that recently came out. Yes. I wasn't happy with the last book, so I might be stubborn and then just like read that book closer to the final Blood and Ash book that comes out in June, and maybe I'll read them consecutively. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the finale of that book series. That it was very, very, very long.
Yes. What's gonna happen? Also, Rachel Gillig.
Yes.
She just showed her new for the book cover.
When does that come out?
That's also a great question.
So she's the author of One Dark Window.
Yes, and that was just so...
Love those books.
Yeah, great. So Night in the Moth.
Night in the Moth, yeah.
It's going to be her next one. And
yeah, Rachel, I love those books, so I will read whatever you got coming next.
Yeah. And Carissa Broadbent.
That's what I was just going to say.
Okay, yeah.
Carissa Broadbent has her Serpent in the Wings of the Night series, but she's doing something really unique, or at least I haven't heard of it in other series, where she did a like the duology type thing in that world, and then she's gonna do 2 more books that's sort of like a duology but within the same world, so it's all connected.
Yeah,
and then
so you still get those characters.
So it's all in the same world, but the characters are also kind of connected.
Yeah,
and
I think it's both with the different houses.
All the different houses. So.
Yeah. So each duology is for a different house.
Yeah, so the Serpent of the Wings of the Night one is complete for those characters, and now she's gonna do moving on to the next one, which comes out soon.
Yes, which I liked the character that it's focusing on.
Yeah, so I already have that pre-ordered.
Yeah, same. Also, Onyx Storm, obviously.
Well,
I feel like that's a given.
Everyone in the world is waiting for that one.
Yeah, whatever Sarah J. Maas decides.
Well, I don't hold my breath.
No, and everyone's like, when is she gonna do it? I'm like, no,
just
you know what? I think she needs some time to just chill for a bit.
Leave Sarah alone.
Yeah. Like, let her make it good and not rush through. I will wait, Sarah. It's okay.
What prompted me to want to talk about this today was something not in the fantasy genre. I would like to shout out all the Louise Penny ladies. I feel like maybe just like moms read these or something, you know, like I would imagine like
Auntie Linda did take them and she enjoyed
Linda
them.
Of course Auntie Linda reads these books along with me,
and Auntie Linda watched Nobody Wants This and texted me the day after Thanksgiving to say I've been binging it.
What a good aunt.
Yeah, and I love it. I'm like, that's right.
But anyway, back to Louise Penny. So Louise Penny is an author, you know, those murder books that are like book 20 of detective
James
blah, blah,
Patterson
blah. Right. I read those books. I know you're like, who reads
so many
books?
People.
Who watches to season 23 of Law Order SVU?
Me
and Jamie.
Yeah.
Me and Jamie do.
Do not cancel it ever.
Louise Penny books in this particular series. The Grey Wolf coming out in a few weeks at the end of October, whenever you're listening to this. But same idea. It's the same guy. It's the same detective, and we kind of know what's going to happen. And there's no huge surprises. I'm never like, well, oh my God, Louise, you did it. I'm just like, I just like the characters, and like they live in Quebec, and it's just
still in like that Three Pines. Is that still a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So.
I mean, those are great. They were great characters. I've read a few of them.
They just make me happy, and sometimes, you know, some of them the big reveal is like, Louise, you threw this together, but then. You didn't push through, because then there's like some in the middle that are like my absolute favorites. She kind of like goes off the rails a little bit, and she does something different, and you know what? I love her. I
will sweep back around to her because I did enjoy the books. But I did that with James Patterson for like a few years. I think maybe like 19 to 24 or something. I think I've read almost all of his books at that time. And same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was just like, yep.
However long you want to go,
write.
Louise.
Yeah.
However long you want to talk about this character, I'm down, girl. But that's what we're looking forward to. Tell us what you're looking forward to.
R.L. Stine, another one. And if you're like young.
Oh, I was like, you're looking forward to the next R.L. Stine?
No, just anything he wrote when I was younger. I'm like, yes, I'll read this.
Okay. I have a whole bookshelf full of Goosebumps. If you ever want to go back to them.
No, kind of tempting, but probably not.
Okay. Well, okay, let's get into Goldfinch.
Yeah.
We need time to talk about Goldfinch here.
All right.
What?
You have it? I thought it said pussy power.
Okay, let's start with our drink star, which is Commader Ryatt. I really liked this whole, not scene because it's multiple scenes, but this whole storyline of the war. I thought
it was
I'm
fantastic.
not usually like an action scene person, but it wasn't too much action scene. It was actually like very little, and it was
perfect amount of
yeah
like the
amount.
Before amount of the actual battling part.
We're obviously gonna get more, but
yes, but so many great moments in the battle. I personally like how it started with Osric with his bare arms showing personally.
Oh, and yeah, then
just really enjoyed that.
Ryatt guesses that Risa got him to put his helmet on.
Yeah.
So one of the parts that I enjoyed was at the beginning when they're all making jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the soldiers are standing around, including Ryatt and Lou and Osric and that. But they're making jokes about what they hate most about the battles. And so one of them asks, "How about you, Tide? What do you hate most about the battles?"
Just goes and ruins the moment.
And he's such a Debbie Downer, and it made me laugh. It also made me sad.
Yep.
He said, "The wait. You rush to make plans and defensive strategies. Rush to prep and pack and travel. Rush to arrive at the place where you're going to take your stand. But when all that rush is over, all that's left is the wait. The wait is like a night that won't end. You keep waiting for the sun to crest, but it doesn't. So you gotta keep watching the horizon because you know it's coming, you know it's inevitable, but the anticipation chews up your nerves and spits them back out. You don't know when the wait is gonna turn into something else, but it will. And that something else is really just death. It's death that you're waiting for. We just don't know if it's ours or theirs. That's why the wait is the worst."
Change my mind. I think the worst part of the battle is the fucking conversation. Exactly. I agree. I was like, what a way to let's bring down the...
So then they're all scared.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Ryatt does also make a really good speech to everyone beforehand. I'm not going to read the speech. You know, it's just like one of those, like movie type.
Like Remember the Titans?
Yeah, like let's get pumped up.
One.
And I think his... And then they all start going, "We stand our ground." Like Lou starts repeating it.
Why did I not come back to that? That was probably a way better speech.
Yeah, it really was. Do you want me to read it? Okay, so Ryatt says, "Victories can still be earned even when the odds are stacked against us. The truth is we aren't here for ourselves. We're not even here solely for Forth. We're here for Aurea." Aurea? Oh, I can't remember.
Depends who you ask.
We're here for Aurea because this is our home, our land, and we won't sit by and let the Fae take it. Their heads nod, back straightening, so we will stand our ground until we can no longer stand. Determination fills in the cracks of their rupturing edges, replacing it with the purpose for our perseverance. "We stand our ground," Lou repeats, her tone firm. They all say it back in response, a few of them slamming a fist against their armor-clad chests. "We stand our ground."
We stand our ground. Oh, yeah, that's really good.
And then I was just like, oh, I wish Slade could see him.
Yeah.
Like, he'd be so proud.
Yeah, and then he comes up with this really cool plan.
Such a great...
He's
I have
smart.
epic plan. It was so good.
One of the things I wanted to add too, though, is we start to see, especially in this Goldfinch part 2, the different powers that people have.
Yes, I do just have like a list of them.
Yeah, which
Even
I
from,
have
like,
the other ones later, but
yeah.
just in this scene is like Tide being able to see really far,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course, we see Roland, and he has that cool shadow power where he gets to, like, multiply his shadow, so it looks like there's more people, and Tide says, "That's really fucking creepy, mate." That was a really bad accent, but that's how he mentioned it. And then we have Maston and Finley, who
they can heat things up and then shake the earth.
Yes, which makes Slade's rot sort of come back to life, kind of thing, and start to spread, and that is ultimately what takes the Fae down, which is really cool.
Right? Oh, it was just.
But Ryatt does, like, the misdirection, makes the Fae come a certain way, and...
Like, he's very much like, this is my, like, home, like, I know stuff that they don't know, even if they are Fae.
He's taken advantage of the environment, even though they don't have the numbers, and he was successful, along with the fact that we obviously saw the Red Raids coming, which, good for them, good redemption story for them.
I loved that they showed up.
Yes.
Just kind of reminds me of, like, the Avengers a little bit. In the final part, when then, like, you see people come in and you're like, oh, they showed up to defend.
Yeah, I don't watch that.
Well,
but yeah. And then, of course, Queen Kayla.
Yep,
she comes
showed
with
up.
Timber Wings, and she's using that power that was so annoying to us before to actually use it against the Fae, so then we're happy, right? That she uses it to annoy them and confuse them and distract them.
Shout out to all the Timber Wings ripping people's heads off.
Yes, good for them.
Yeah, they did so well. I do also like when Judd shows up and he saves Ryatt. And then I do like...
Miss me? And he's just, like, so joyful. And it's like, this is a horrible scene, Judd. I'm pretty sure Maston and Finley just died, but okay.
Right? Oh, and then I just enjoy... I'm like, what the hell are you doing here? I ask and start fumbling. Judd tisks, what, you thought you could just go and have a battle without me? Fucking rude. You know how much I like battles. They're my favorite hobby, Commander.
Oh, he's so fun.
I know. So great.
So, moving on to Osric.
Oh.
We only get a little bit of him and Risa in these chapters. But obviously we get their perspective of when Cliffhelm collapses, and...
Obviously he's, like, freaking out trying to find Risa. And eventually, like, he does find her, and he's just running and, like, not stopping when it's like everything's settled, and he's like still running, and she's literally like pinching him.
Put me down.
Yeah, like it's fine, and she's pinching his neck. I was just like, oh, that's so cute.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna keep running.
The quote that I have is Judd. He goes, "Wow, you two are made for each other," and at the same time they say, "Of course we are." And then Osric thinks, then we share a look, and now that my adrenaline is calming and telling me she's okay, all this rushing blood and hormones wants to do something else.
I love how he just constantly talks about how he's turned on around her.
Just wait, I'm not done.
Oh.
And then Judd. Right, before this takes a turn, I just want to warn you that Queen Kayla and her brother Manu are here. Judd senses the horny vibes coming from Osric.
It's okay. Just gonna put a stop to this.
Yeah, I didn't mean to
somehow make
trigger you all. We do. Oh, I wanted to mention.
Oh, I actually forgot about this.
Yeah, so Queen Kayla obviously doesn't want to help anymore. She's like, I did
my thing.
Deal.
I showed up.
You tell Slade that I came here and helped. Now I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But then she consults with Manu, and then she decides to stay and help. So we finally got our Manu redemption.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was as big as I was expecting.
I mean, there's still another half of the book.
Yeah, maybe he'll come back, but I think that is what we are anticipating, was Manu influencing Kayla to come to the good side.
Yes,
right?
And I think now it's like I need to push her more instead of just
maybe
listening.
We needed to be on these people's side. Maybe we didn't need to. I don't know if I'm giving him too much credit here, but maybe we didn't need to fuck over Auren. Maybe we didn't need to do those things. Like, we've taken it too far, Kayla.
You did.
But he helped her.
Yeah, I actually totally forgot that part happened. But yeah, good job, Manu.
Do you have anything to add before we go to Melina?
No, I don't even have anything on Melina.
Yeah, there's barely anything.
Oh.
Yeah, my note literally says nothing really happens. So Melina, in this part 2, only gets the one chapter, which is fine. We know that we're going to get sort of a conclusion of
Well, she had a lot in the first part.
Yeah. And I think the last 2 books, we've gotten so much of Melina.
Yeah. I actually thought she originally was going with him over the bridge and was confused at first.
Oh, you forgot that she just wanted to stop Morphe from coming into Aurea. She wasn't going to Anwen.
I thought she was going to Anwen.
No.
And then I was like, what? Like, I'm confused, right? And then I kind of reread it. I was like, oh, yes, okay.
Yeah. So
I thought they were going to take, like, a really big vacation together.
What's that?
I thought it was really going to be, like, a trio.
I'm glad it wasn't. I don't really want to see the 3 of them together.
No.
It seems very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But Slade kills all the Fae that are at the border of 7th Kingdom into the bridge of Lemuria. And so, yeah, Melina just stays there and she's going to work on the blockade, but we'll come back to her in the other parts when...
Yeah. So I just like when they're, like, flying into it. And Dominic kind of looks up and says something. He's like, and then we'll come up with a plan. So he's just like, I already have a plan.
He just takes off.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'll just never get, like, sick of these scenes where he just fucking destroys.
And Dominic is kind of like, oh, shouldn't go down there. And Melina's like, he's fine.
Yeah.
Just let
don't even question it.
And then he slaughters everybody, and then it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
From, like, Melina's view, she's like, and then he leaps off the bird and does, I'm like, he's so cool.
He's so cool.
Right? And they're just like, okay. And then all the Fae are dead.
Everybody dies.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. No, it's very still.
Isn't it? They deserve it.
True. Okay. The saddest scene in these chapters is Slade and Argo.
Yep.
I cried.
Same.
That goodbye. And he has to be mean to Argo to make him leave.
Yeah. Because Argo does not want to leave him.
Ooh, that hurt my heart.
I know, I had a quote down for it. I'm like, I don't even want to read it.
It hurt my heart.
Yeah. But he, like, I get it.
Well, as we get into Slade's chapter and he explains it, like, we don't know what's in the fog and I don't want him flying around and I don't want to risk him.
Yeah. And then
when
like,
I don't know
how he promised a little girl he wouldn't put her at my risk.
Carlos. They see a bird in the window, you need to jump and go look. Anyway.
But yeah, that part just, like, broke my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I hated it.
So Slade finally does it. He is in Anwen. This was super exciting. Like,
yeah,
it's almost like when you read this series, you don't even. It's like, are we ever gonna get there? And so with Goldfinch, it's kind of like, oh my god, stuff is happening.
I don't like my heart. I feel like this whole part, because I knew it was happening. I'm like, okay, he's there now.
You knew it was going to progress, and
yeah.
you know that it needs to progress at a certain pace in order for us to get to the end of Goldfinch and do all the things that they need to do.
Yes.
So you're like, okay,
they're reuniting soon.
It's coming.
But oh my god, I feel like, yeah, this whole part, I was just like, oh my god. He does come in real hot and just starts killing people off the bridge.
He does.
Right?
As he does.
Yeah, but just like you're not even really giving them a chance to answer questions. You're just like, you're dead.
The bold thing is the Volmen that are there, they seem to have not noticed him, and then they come in and start killing.
Yeah.
It's like, guys, look around. There's that large man with the spikes. And he's very scary. Maybe look around before you come in and start fighting people.
Read the room.
Yeah.
And also, just want to mention, like, the amount of power that he has is actually insane. Like, I was like, I could not even imagine having that much power. Like,
I mean, that'd be nice.
Well, I also wouldn't be mad at it, but just, like, that much power to just, like, kill that many people at once, like, that's just... I had, like, a 10-minute thought about it. Just, that would be just so fucked up.
It does give me less anxiety reading the book, knowing that, though, because I know that he's not that vulnerable.
Yes. He can take care of himself. They both can.
And I really like how they call him Lord Rot. That made me laugh.
Yeah. Or I just like how they're like, he kind of comes in and they're like, how do all these people know Auren? I'm like, Slade, Auren is famous.
Yeah, get with it.
More famous than you.
Okay, I wanted to ask you because I couldn't figure it out. When he's talking about this man with the teeth magic.
Yeah.
I didn't get it, and I was really hoping that you had interpreted the words correctly and could tell me.
I literally just pictured, like, dentures coming out and biting people.
Out of his hand? Or what do you...
Yeah. No, like, or like his teeth would come out. I actually don't know. I literally just pictured like a bunch of teeth.
But then he talked about his hand. He was like holding stuff in his hand.
Oh,
and I'm
right.
like, are you throwing teeth at people?
Huh.
And then they bite you, just like loose teeth, you know?
Okay, well, yeah, now I'm more confused.
If anyone out there knows, please tell us, because I'm confused.
So is it like the one tooth like turns into like a set of teeth? Like they're like little magic things, and when you throw them, they just like spring into a set of teeth to chomp on people?
I don't know.
But that was a weird power.
It was, well, obviously, because we can't figure it out. Do you have anything to say before he finds Auren's aura?
Oh, how the dragon comes out solid.
Well, that's after that.
Oh.
Yeah, so they get to the city and then he spots Auren's aura.
Yes.
I did want to mention that we didn't get the gold road scene, so if you think back to when Auren originally came to Anwin, and then she had that scene in that town square, and then she gilded the road, and you're like, oh, that's how he's gonna find her. He's gonna see the road and know that he's on the right track. So we now know that doesn't happen.
No,
our
but I thought that would
wrong.
have been a really great.
I thought it was a great idea.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they'll still see it, but I really, really thought that was gonna happen. Well, I didn't think it was gonna go this route.
You can write a fanfic.
I could.
About the road.
But just about the Golden Road.
Alternate ending.
Everything will be the same, but just the part when he gets there.
Yeah. Just a little detour. Okay. We see some other cool magic powers. So the boy with the spit magic.
Oh my god, yes.
How do you even discover that? That's what I was thinking. Like when his magic powers came out, like
yeah.
Do you just like spit on something and start playing with your spit, and you're like, oh, I can
look at this.
Manipulate my spit and
so weird.
Make it into webs. And then the other one is that spinning air magic.
Yes.
That one's pretty cool. It's kind of like you can create tornadoes.
Yeah, see, that's
what I imagined it as.
I feel like that's a good one.
That is a good one. The spit one sounds gross.
Yeah, really just didn't. But I like how they're all just like these random, weird.
What one would you pick out of the ones that we talked about today?
Oh.
Including Una's, I guess.
I feel like I wouldn't want Una's.
Or Tyek's.
What's his?
Stone.
Oh, Ty. I think you said Ty, but his is this. No, maybe it's don't know.
Would you be the breaker? You want to break people's bones?
Oh, like of all the powers?
I'm just thinking of more.
Oh.
Or lose would be really cool.
I like lose power. I feel like that's a good one.
That would be a real contender. I also really like, I forget, Tide, or the one where you can see really far.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Emily's is like fun.
What's hers again?
She can change her future.
Oh, right. That one's fun.
Yeah, you could just be like,
okay, I take that.
Bored of my hair.
Brenner, even though we hate Brenner, his is cool.
His is really cool. You would not have to pay to travel.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I also do like Auren's.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Auren.
Just now that she's like really getting into it.
She's super powerful.
Yes, but just like the gold stuff, like how we kind of see like she's making more stuff with it.
She's being so creative with it.
Yeah,
like,
and I was
creating
like, oh,
ropes, creating like making her powers also be like weapons.
Yeah, and like a chest plate, and
she's making an outfit. She makes them into bullets, like you know.
Yeah, like at first I was like, I wouldn't want this power. It's so you just make stuff gold. That's boring. But I'm like, no, this is actually pretty cool.
You could do so much with that.
Okay.
Oh, and then this is where we get the dragon, right?
Yes. So it manifests into like a real life dragon, not just a shadow dragon.
That's pretty cool. Oh, that was my other idea for a drink. I was like, there could have been a dragon drink here too.
Ooh. I do have like a dragon one saved that involves fire. Yeah.
Well, do you want to get into Auren now?
Yes.
Okay. Now here's the scene that I read too far.
Yes. It would have actually been good if we had just read that chapter too.
I know. Were you excited to read it? Because you're like,
yeah.
You tried not to read it the last episode because I put it in our notes and I realized that I overread.
Yeah.
The discovery of the rot. So she uses the rot to eat away whatever is in her head.
And you have like, she's so smart. I wrote down genius.
She is so smart. But,
yeah.
But I just think, I thought of the sensation too in your head, of the rot in your head eating away at whatever the thing that Una put in her.
I hated it.
I also thought that's incredibly risky. I'm gonna put this little piece of rot into my ear.
That was so,
I feel like it's
so
like taking
risky.
a Q-tip and just like, you know.
I mean, I guess it is because like it is a
you would
part
do when you
of
lose
her.
your mind, and you're like, I'm gonna get these creatures out of my head.
Yeah, by putting something else in there.
Except for it paid off.
Yeah, it's the only situation where that happens.
Yeah.
It sounded awful and gross, and I didn't like it, but it was super smart and ended up working.
Do you remember how she gets her ribbons back? Like, working?
I think just when she realizes, like, her power and stuff.
Okay.
I have, like, the page.
I was trying to think back, and I was like, I think it happens during the escape.
Oh, she says, my back arcs with sudden pain like a blade draining down them and splitting skin. Then my shirt tears open, that light breaking through behind me into dozens of rays that stream like ribbon sunlight. Una's eyes go fearfully wide, and I look over my shoulder, following her gaze. Long satiny strands drenched in liquid gold with veins of black move around me, their lengths twisting and lifting. I can feel them.
Yeah, so they come back during that.
They
scene,
just,
yeah.
maybe it's...
That's the other part.
What?
I was surprised by.
That Una dies?
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I didn't...
We thought maybe she was going to come back to the light.
Yeah.
And that she was being used by King Tyack. But there's not enough time for another redemption story.
No,
they,
not everyone gets
Raven
it.
couldn't do it.
Which, fair.
Yeah. Move it along.
Una's dead. I just love when she leaves the prison. Oh, and I do also like when, like, the ribbons and everything comes out, Una kind of looks at her and is like, what are you? And Auren's like, really fucking pissed.
She always has the lines.
I was also picturing her in, like, bars, like an old school prison for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. It completely isn't.
Well, no, because then she would have escaped.
Yes.
Do you have anything to add
About the prison break?
about her escape? Because the next thing I have is about her and Lydia.
Yes, I just also like this other part as she was escaping. The guards might as well be holding their dicks instead of swords for all the good it does them.
It's very Slade.
Right? I love a good Auren line. So it just made me happy. But yeah, it was love a good prison break scene. We do see that all like the Arians are there.
Orions.
Oh my god.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
No,
You
I
don't
know. That's
I
feel
how I
like
say it in my head. Orions.
even with like Risa, like how we both say different ones, that I'm literally just saying both of them now because I'm like, I don't even remember what I used to say at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Lydia? Is that what we're going
Yeah. So Lydia sounds really nice.
I agree.
So some of the descriptions that I like, it was the arch made with translucent rock that matches the color of the lavender sky.
Lavender sky.
It's really tall and has twisting trees, and there's a road of pewter gray bricks that leads into the town. Lydia's is a tangled. Oh, there's a tangle of braided trees that drift far up into the sky, and beautiful buildings that somehow look quaint and dazzling. They're made up of smooth stone, sparkling glass, steeples, and arched doorways. Some of the buildings are even woven into the thick trees themselves, blending with the nature that seems to hold magic in the air.
It does sound like such a magical place.
Yeah, it sounds very fey.
Right? And I love how it's like quaint and dazzling. What a great description.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like it. I would go.
if
anyone wants to take me. We want to make like a Disneyland but for Anwen.
Yeah.
So then like to the play that they do that she comes across.
The play in the town square.
Yeah.
So I thought it was pretty funny, but then I kind of felt bad and was like, sorry, Auren, but it is pretty funny. Do you want to do the back and forth?
Yeah.
Okay, you go first.
What's all this about, my sweet?
Can't you see? He's a vermin.
Volman.
Same thing. He's going to make me a queen.
What are you on about?
Well, I'm a Turley, aren't I? The vermin say my family should be the ones ruling Anwen.
You're a Turley? Is that why your tits are gold?
That's right. Do you want to see?
It's just...
It's so stupid.
So stupid. Like, obviously, if I'm watching that and it's about me and my family, I'm like, okay.
I'm mad.
Yeah.
Mad. Yeah.
Like, it's funny, except for, like, the whole context around it.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, King Tyack comes out and terrorizes everybody and brings out the prisoners, who happen to be Emily and Wick. But Emily, it looks like Auren because she's using her power.
Yes, and they have her in a very scandalous outfit.
Yeah. They're trying to make a mockery of her.
Yeah, that was sad.
And then when King Tyack tries to make Emily whip Wick, that's when Auren is like, enough.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
Like, I was just, I want this to happen, not to happen to me. But I was just like, yes.
Do you want to read the quote after it says enough?
Yeah. My voice rings out through the arena as I shove back my hood and reveal my face. Emily spots me instantly, her wet eyes widening as she looks up. Exclamations erupt in the air as gold pours from my hands and drips down my ribbons, encasing my legs in armor and covering my feet in gilded boots. My name is Auren Turley, and I am the true Lyria Ver. I am not gone, and I do not bow. Yeah! That was so... I am not gone, and I do not bow. So good.
Yeah, epic.
Oh, yeah, and you do have... Literally, the rescue is epic.
Mm-hmm. And then we see, like we spoke about her with her gold magic, using it as a rope, and then cutting through the bindings, and it's really
the
cool
sword
to see.
And
she's like, yeah, makes a sword.
Yeah, it's like, look at you.
You turly filth, I should have slit your throat.
Yes, you should have.
And then the king takes Emily, and I was like, no!
Give her a break.
Come on!
Yeah.
And then, of course, Wick tries to kill Brenner, which makes sense, because he's a filthy traitor.
That's right, he's the worst.
But Auren, the smart lady that she is, let's take him hostage. So I think that's what we'll probably see in part 3 is we'll get some information from Brenner.
Yeah.
And then the moment we've all been waiting for.
Oh my god.
I'm getting closer, so fucking close after weeks and weeks of pure darkness, pure agony. And then I reach the end of the street and I see a golden figure running towards me. My heart breaks open. Auren. But of course we know she doesn't have a memory, so that's a little bit awkward.
She's like, you know, if I attacks him immediately, and I do like, he's like,
Jesus. Sorry.
Oh. Yeah, just attacks him. And then he's like, if you wanted to tie me up, then may I suggest we do it in private, or we do so in private? Mm-hmm. He still doesn't.
And I was thinking, oh, he in his head, because he's like, oh my god, she's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And he's about to say, like, it's okay, Auren, this is my dragon Steve. Like, meet my dragon. And then she's like, bam! And then attacks him.
You named him the Dragon Steve?
I thought it was Steve, because I was like, Slade and Steve.
Oh.
I thought it was cute.
That is pretty cute.
Yeah, but then, obviously, he realizes she doesn't remember.
Yeah. And he does say something about a goldfinch, and her eyes kind of light up, and he's trying to get her to focus, and I do like, she starts looking somewhere else, and he's like, eyes on me. I'm like, ugh. Slade, stop it. Obviously, then their auras collide.
Yeah, that kind of doesn't work for them, and then she remembers, and she's like, ah. And she says, I missed you with my entire soul.
My heart didn't work without you.
We're quite the pair, you and I.
You figured it out?
Not until it happened.
Mm.
So the acknowledgement of, in what book was it? Gleam. It was in Gleam, where they're out on the balcony.
Yes.
And Slade says, we're quite the pair, you and I. And that's where they have that really good kiss scene.
Yes.
But they're still in Midas's castle.
Mm-hmm.
And so she figured it out. That's what he meant. He meant the pair. He knew because of the aura. So
yeah, pretty intense. Their auras collide. I do really like, he had a sweet reaction to seeing that her ribbons were back. It's like he was like he teared up a bit. And I thought
and
that
he
was
said
sweet.
something like, you're whole again.
Yeah. Slade, you're killing me.
And then they get super horny. So horny that they feel like they're gonna die.
Oh my god, I was like, what is happening? Like, where they literally cannot like part their bodies.
I just imagined like Auren with her legs wrapped around him like a dog in heat and just like rubbing herself against him, where it's like,
and he's like trying to like, okay, I'm just gonna get off this boat.
And then Wick is standing off to the side like, I I'm not sure what to do
I just
here."
really need to get out of this situation.
And then Slade growls at him, and he's like, "What?" And then Auren's like, baby, look at me." And she's like rubbing her genitals on him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey,
Wick,
I'll find a place for you. Come with me."
Yeah. Because she does turn. She's like, "But Wick, there's also these prisoners or whatever. If you could just help with that." He's probably just like, "Okay, just get me the fuck out of here."
Oh, yeah, can you go get the people that I abandoned over there?
Yeah, I need to go have sex for a couple days.
We still don't know how she's related to Wick either.
No, I mean, they haven't had time to have that conversation.
Right, so I just wrote down, like, Wick is a good cousin. And shows them the way to the safe house so they can get it on, as a good cousin should.
Yeah, I agree.
Rightly so, Auren is a little bit embarrassed, which was cute. And I thought, as she should be, as she's grinding up on a man that had suddenly appeared in the street.
With a dragon.
Wick still doesn't know who this man is.
Yeah. Okay, that actually is great.
But he's just trusting it because obviously there's the bond and
he knows what's actually happening.
Put some context clues together, but that still is very funny.
I feel like it's like a 3-part sex capade. Yeah. Like, we cannot make it through this tunnel. The tunnel did sound a bit romantic. Because there was, like, lights and stuff, and then she gilds the boat. You know, kind of like a X-rated Little Mermaid, like, scene. You know how they're...
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And then how after, she just, like, will not let go when they get to the house thing.
We must keep our genitals together.
Yeah.
We must not part.
I'll just build us this little rope bridge.
It was something.
And then the part where all of a sudden she goes nuts. Well, I mean, they're already kind of nuts. She realizes there's, like, different smells in the room.
Uh-huh.
And she's just, like, going, like, not right. I was like, they're actually kind of, like, half nuts right now, I think.
Yeah.
And starts to gild the entire room.
No, they are... If you are in the state of mind that you do a 69...
Almost died. I thought she had fallen.
Lost your mind.
Right?
You have absolutely lost your mind.
I don't care. I just like how he's like, I thought she had fallen. That's because she all of a sudden went like leaned, and then he's oh no. Like, you want to mix things up, go for it.
Okay, anyone listening out there, if this is your thing, that's perfectly fine.
Yes.
Absolutely no judgment. This is just a one person opinion.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just an old lady also. I'm too lazy for it. That sounds very uncomfortable. There's too much to maneuver.
Yeah, I'm like, there's too much focusing, too many different things happening.
It's a no for me.
Yeah.
It's a no for me.
Yeah, same.
Stop it.
Yeah, I was like,
but continue if that's what you like.
Yes, if you enjoy it.
I was just shocked.
I was not expecting a 69.
Yeah.
Like, the swings with her ribbons, totally expecting that. That was cool.
That was fun.
Right? That was really cool. I was like,
fun.
Oh my god, you can be your own sex swing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're just held up.
Yeah.
It's great. But I don't even think I've ever read a 69 in a book before.
Right. It's
I mean,
yeah.
Good job, Raven. Just pushing the boundaries.
Yeah.
Bringing back the 69.
Even though I won't do it, I'm glad it's in there.
Same. I enjoyed it. And I thought she had fallen. Just making that part more crazy than it actually was.
But as I was reading the sex scene, I also thought, guys, Emery has been taken hostage. Your best friend of the moment is taken hostage.
Emily?
If I were her and I found out you were 69ing while I had been taken hostage by the king, by the evil king.
Well, I don't think she'll find out that specifically what they were doing.
I would be so mad at you. We would no longer be friends.
I don't know. I might even be more okay with it if I found out that's what you were doing.
If you were taken hostage.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? You really threw in the experimentation with your mating bond.
You're a liar.
They did have to do it, clearly, or they were gonna go more crazy than they already were. Also, we are now biting each other and drinking each other's blood.
And then it seemed like that was like part of it.
I think it was part of it. But I was just like, oh my god, the 69, the sex swing, the biting.
Right, we expect this from a vampire book, but...
Taking a break to gild the room. But it was fantastic, also. Very much enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like, it really... I've been waiting for this reunion. And they were not together the whole last book. And I think it did have to be a really great reunion. And she really went over the top with it, and I love it.
Yeah,
I'm so happy.
Auren wins this sex scene for sure.
Yeah.
She wins.
100%.
Okay. Let's move it along.
Casting call.
Oh. There's a lot more demure than you usually do it. Okay, we don't have anyone to cast. Now, I guess we could have cast, like, the soldiers that were in the, the battle, but I just didn't want to.
No, not worth it.
No. Because, some of y'all are dead. I'm so sorry. One thing I did want to consider, I know that I keep, like, and this is just what I do with books when I imagine characters. Sometimes I'll just, like, repeat actors.
Yeah.
Because my head is just not that creative sometimes. But I was thinking, what about CT for Osric?
Yeah. I feel like he would also work really well.
So for those of you who don't know, CT from The Real World and The Challenge, if you don't watch those shows, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
But I had cast him or recast him as Cassian.
I think he would be a better Osric than Cassian.
I think he'd be a really good Osric.
Yeah.
It's got Osric vibes. I thought you'd be more excited about that.
Well, because I really did like the Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, I know. Yours is better. That's
no, but better. Then I'm like, I do really actually do like CT as him, and I feel like that might fit.
I don't know. I like me a Jason.
I know. I mean, Jason, I am also very attracted to Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Hope you're listening. I also really like your wife. She's hilarious.
Okay, the other one I was thinking while I was reading, when Wick is standing by the fountain, like just watching Auren and Slade, it describes that his long black hair over one side.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, is that Ruhn Danaan? Right?
Is this a crossover?
For those who don't know, we're talking about Crescent City.
Yeah.
But I was like, I really miscast him.
Yes.
Because I obviously did not listen to the descriptions at all. Like, long black hair with, like, the shave over.
But, like, who you cast him as, I also originally had him as, like, this white, red-headed actor that doesn't go with the description at all.
It's just, like, very obviously not what Raven Kennedy was describing.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Well, we'll just leave it as that. I don't have a replacement. I was just thinking,
really noticing that?
As I was just doing my notes, I was thinking about that, and I was like, oh, yeah. Maybe another day I'll think of someone, but I still imagine him as a little bit more geeky, I guess.
Yeah. Same. I do imagine him more geeky, though. I don't know why.
Some MVP?
MVP! Who's it gonna be? Oh my god. Slade's penis.
Slade's penis?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He put the work in.
He did. He did his job. You're gonna give it to his penis and not to Slade? Do you know how much work he put in?
But I mean, Auren also put in a lot of work too.
I really want to give MVP to Auren.
Yeah, I feel like she does deserve it more.
She did a prison break, Jamie.
Yeah,
she murdered.
Did. I totally forgot about that part.
She released all of the prisoners, including the surviving Orient. She saved Emily. I mean, only to be captured again. She saved Wick. She had really cool armor that she made out of her gold.
Yeah.
She initiated a 69. She made a sex swing.
Okay, yeah, that's the part that I was looking at. I was like, oh, she does deserve it because of the 69 and the sex swing.
She did so much in these chapters.
She did. And then she even gilded the whole room so that they were more calm.
Yeah, you're really focused on the sex. Okay, and then my runners up are, I want to give like a little 10% to Wick, just because he had to watch his cousin be a weird rabid dog or cat. And then I want to give it to Ryatt as well.
Yeah, that's good.
Because he won that huge battle that was like, they thought was a suicide mission.
Yeah.
And that was really cool.
Yeah, I feel like Ryatt also deserves it.
Okay.
And that boat for not tipping over.
The boat.
Yeah.
The boat. Yeah, I agree. We gotta throw the boat on there.
Yeah, really important.
And the dragon. Sorry, the dragon. There's so many.
Oh, Argo.
And Argo. If you, or we would like you to follow along with us. We are on Instagram. We are on TikTok. Jamie is going to post our drink photos. I'm pushing her to drink. Pushing her to post our drink photos. But the point is, we put our drink photos on social media so you can actually see what we are drinking, that we're not just talking about them.
Yeah.
And then obviously we post other stuff on social media.
And they also go with like the theme of everything. So it's pretty exciting.
It is. I think it's exciting and I think it's fun.
Right. Today we used a pile of dirt. Christine went and collected me a bowl of dirt from outside.
I did.
Yep, for some props.
So follow along with us on social media. Also, if you're listening to us, give us a follow. Give us 5 stars. It's incredibly helpful.
Super duper helpful.
And we are also covering A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas, while we're also covering Goldfinch. So listen in on those next time we see you. It'll be either be Akawar or it will be Goldfinch Part 3. Okay, toodaloo.
Do you think there will be an even bigger sex scene, though? That's my question.
Okay, what?
Do you think there will be an even bigger sex scene?
No. Okay. I feel like she has to throw in more sex because we're still at the 50% mark. But it's obviously not going to be that epic because there's a lot of things that we got to do here.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
I'm so sorry, Jamie.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll get over it.
Toodaloo.
Goodbye.